Hello again. Right, what we're going to talk about now is using the Easytapsplitter in a slightly different way. On the previous videos we've used the tapsplitter obviously to undo the tight headgear to change the washer on a really tight tap. Now I'll just repeat again that any turning of the tap while you're trying to undo the headgear here using something like a big spanner on the nut and trying to hold the spout with your fingers, any movement of the tap a couple of millimeters left or right will possibly run a high risk of unseating the joint underneath, the connector underneath, and you could have a leak there. It's not too bad on a hand wash basin like this because you can get underneath it, but on a bath you've got to start getting underneath to get at it, and it's very difficult on a bath. You've got to start taking the panel off and all the rest of it, so it's imperative that we don't move this tap left or right in any way, shape or form. Now also, as I said, on these older type sinks, this sink's probably about 70 or 80 years old. This tap, when it was put in originally, was set into a square hole, not a round hole, and it was packed out with putty, which by now has gone rock solid hard. So any movement of the tap, like I say, one way or another, will split the sink right the way across, and that's the end of the sink. You won't be able to replace it, so it'll be a total disaster. So the tap splitter eliminates all that. Now let's assume that you've got past the point of you've undone your tap head, you've replaced the wash and put it all back. Now you need to re-tighten up that head. Now a lot of people say you don't need to over tighten them. You do need to tighten them up to a degree, because I'll show you what can happen on this tap. There's the tap head there exposed. Now what can happen if it's not tight is, as you're turning the tap, or you think you're turning the tap on, it's actually unscrewing the head. The water will start to come out, and then it can get to the point where this will actually pop out. Now you might think that's a bit ridiculous and it's impossible to happen. It has happened, and if you've got children, say for instance, turning the tap on, they'll just turn it forever. And if it's the hot tap, you'll have potentially scalding hot water coming out all over the place, which you want to avoid. So again, to tighten the tap up without having to use something like this and risk spinning the actual tap round, you can use the tap splitter in the opposite way. You just simply do it, instead of doing it from the left hand side, you do it from the right hand side, exactly the same. So in this setup now, you're pulling the tap, the Easytapsplitter spanner towards the spout using this screw rod here. So you just put your spanner over it and tighten it up, but be careful not to over tighten it, because this will cause massive pressure. Just tweak it up, and then once that's done, release it and just check that that's tight by using this spanner, and make sure it's not, it has actually tightened up. So that's the other way that you can use the tap splitter to tighten up your tap without using a big brutal spanner, which could risk causing all kinds of damage, and usually does. So I hope that's been of assistance to you and help to you. So I would say again, thanks for watching.